Syrian tanks have filled the streets of the southern city of Daraa. Witnesses say shots were fired and hundreds have reportedly been arrested around the country. The government, though, says the troops were sent in to safeguard the people. And the US has ordered some of its embassy officials and their families to leave Syria because of what it calls the uncertainty and volatility in the country. The White House is also considering imposing new sanctions. Now, the US has actually had sanctions in place against Syria since 2004, but now, as we say, the White House is considering more of them, like freezing the assets of certain senior officials in the Syrian government. Paddy Culhane has more.
Friday was a watershed. The Syrian government intensified its crackdown. The White House ramped up the rhetoric, making no effort to hide his anger. The violence, Obama said, must end now. It didn't, only escalated. So now what?
We continue to look for ways and are pursuing a range of possible policy options, including targeted sanctions to respond to the crackdown in Syria.
The Obama administration upping the ante, but only slightly. For years, the U.S. government has had sanctions against the Assad government. It lists Syria as a state sponsor of terrorism. 32 individuals and 12 companies are already banned from doing business in the U.S., including the Commercial Bank of Syria. The Obama administration had promised to allow more U.S. goods into Syria in an attempt to reestablish a relationship. Food, medicine, communications equipment, computer software, and airplane parts are allowed in. Now there is talk that the Assad family could be targeted as well, but even the White House admits that could have limited impact unless European countries follow suit. President Obama is being urged to act by both political parties, but only to a point.
I think we're witnessing the slow end of the Assad dictatorship, and we should stand with the people of Syria.
Avoid anything like an open-ended commitment, certainly no troops on the ground, and no military involvement without the same kind of international consortium that we managed to do in Libya.
But experts say it's not entirely clear that Washington really wants President Assad out.
If it starts to take action that would precipitate or facilitate the fall of the Syrian regime, which would then lead to more political instability in Syria, it might be open season then in that political and unstable situation for insurgents to cross back and forth into Iraq at a time when we're trying to pull out.
The Obama administration facing another choice, stand for its values or its interests, a decision it appears it is yet to make. Paddy Culhane, Al Jazeera, Washington.